Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Verlyn. I do a variety of videos, and if you're returning, thank you so much for coming back. So on today's video, I'm going to be giving you guys a step-by-step guide on how to become an LVN. So from the time I became an LVN, I have had many people ask me what the process was like, what did I do before I got into nursing school, or what did I have to do to get into nursing school, was it hard, etc. So I decided that I was going to put together a step-by-step guide and share it with you guys if you are interested in becoming an LVN. If this is something that you would like to hear about, please stay tuned. But don't forget to share, comment, subscribe, and of course you guys like my video for more content. Let's go ahead and jump right in. So the first step is fully understanding what an LVN or a LPN is. A LVN is a licensed vocational nurse, and an LPN is a licensed practical nurse. But it's the same thing, okay? It just depends on what state you are. They call it either one. For example, here in Texas, I am considered an LVN, a licensed vocational nurse. But if I went back to the Virgin Islands, I would be considered an LPN, a licensed practical nurse. But it's really the same thing. LVNs and LPNs are able to work under RNs and doctors in hospital settings, nursing homes, correctional settings, rehab facilities, clinics, outpatient, etc. In those settings, we are able to administer and pass medication, monitor patients, do basic patient care, wound changes, set up IVs. We also do a great amount of administrative work if you are in a setting that requires you to do so. When it comes to how much an LVN get paid, that varies. When I passed my NCLEX, my first nursing job as a licensed vocational nurse, I was offered over $60,000. That was at a substance abuse facility that was federally funded. And so fresh out of passing my NCLEX, I got offered a pretty well-paying job for somebody who had just got out of school. Now, everybody's experience may be different. It all depends on where you choose to work, what they are offering. Always keep in mind that when you are new to nursing or new to any field, that your offering pay may not be as high as somebody who has been in a field for a very long time. Everybody keeps saying that LVNs don't make any money. That is not fully true. It just depends on where you want to work and what you do as a nurse, okay? But LVNs do get paid decent money, well, from my experience. Step number 2, meeting the educational requirements. To become an LVN, you will need to have your high school diploma or your GED. That is one of the basic education requirements that is needed to get into an LVN program. Also, some schools do require you to have prerequisites done, whether that's in math, English, or science. Not all programs require this, as my program that I went to did not require any prerequisites. You will also have to take and pass an entrance test to get into your LVN program, and depending on the program, it may be the HESI or the TEAS. Keep in mind that there are different types of LVN programs, so a community college may require more, where a technical school may not require as much. Also, there's also online schools that's available to people who are considering becoming an LVN, and that online school covers the book and lecture portion, and then you would have to make additional arrangements for your hands-on and clinical training. Step number 3, you want to make sure that the school that you are looking into and the program that you are considering is an actual accredited program. You want to make sure that this program and this school is accredited by the State Board of Nursing. It doesn't take a lot to find that out. You just need to do some additional research and you'll be able to get that information. Also, you want to take into consideration the cost, location, and NCLEX pass rate for those programs. Is it going to be expensive? Is it going to be something that you're going to be able to pay out of pocket? Are you going to have to take out financial aid? Are you going to have to take out loans? Those things are important. Also, how far is the school? Where is it located? What is the commute for you? What is the commute for you with traffic? because you want to be able to be to nursing school on time, and you want to make sure you're not signing yourself up for a program that's like 45 minutes to an hour away from you. Location matters. NCLEX pass rate. Now this is something I did not fully understand when I was looking into schools, but it definitely matters. The NCLEX pass rate lets you know how prepared the students are after graduation. So for me, my cohort graduated with 100% pass rate. That means that every single person that went to sit for that NCLEX passed the NCLEX on the first try. That speaks volumes to my program, volumes for my school. Did we have people that did not make it all the way through the program? We did, but that also let us know that the people that graduated and were sent to take the NCLEX were prepared. So you want to look at the NCLEX pass rate so that you are aware of how prepared the students are at that program when they're finished with school. Also take into consideration the length of the program. Is it 12 months? Is it 18 months? Is it 2 years? You want to make sure that the program you are looking into is going to be what's best for you. Does the program require you to be there Monday through Friday? Is it 2 days out of the week? Do you have to be there on the weekends? Is it 8 to 5, 8 to 3, 6 to 9? Make sure you're able to get the information you need so that you can make the best decision for yourself. The fourth thing on the list is completing clinical trainings. Now, in addition to the book and lecture hours that you have to complete for LVN school, you do have to do clinical rotations just like if you were in an RN program. And those clinical rotations are offered at hospital, nursing homes, clinics, or even sometimes online. But online is kind of weird. We did online because I went to nursing school during the pandemic, and so for the beginning part of nursing school, we still weren't allowed to actually go out to the facilities, so we had to start our clinical rotation online. But eventually we did move on and get into nursing homes and get into the clinics. Those clinical rotations vary and you learn a whole lot of stuff, okay? Anywhere from changing patients to learning how to turn them properly. We were working alongside nurses. We had to do our own SBARs. We had to go ahead and document. We would have to work the floor as if we were the nurse. We would then have to sit after clinicals and discuss different things about our patients. Keep in mind that those clinical rotations and those clinical sites may not be close by, and you may have to get there a lot earlier than your normal lecture days. You want to make sure you ask your school to give you as much information about your clinical rotation as possible, because that matters. For me, one of my clinical rotations was an hour away from where I live, okay? And so I would have to leave here very early in the morning to get there for 5:30 so that I am able to get report with the 6 o'clock nurse. So make sure you ask as much information, find out if they have like a zone, how do they place nurses or nursing students for clinicals, etc. Okay? But understand that you have to do clinical rotations and pass your clinical rotations in order to graduate. Fifth on the list is passing the NCLEX. You have to pass your NCLEX to be considered a licensed vocational or licensed practical nurse. You can finish nursing school, you can graduate, you can get all that pretty glitz and glamour done, but if you do not pass your NCLEX, you are not a licensed vocational or licensed practical nurse. So once completing nursing school, what I did to prepare was I did a lot of UWorld, and I listened to Mark Clements, I think that's how you say his last name, on YouTube. Oh my goodness, he really saved me for preparing for the NCLEX, and I did a lot of practice questions. So even when you finish with nursing school, you still have to prepare and study for the NCLEX so you can officially become an LVN or an LPN. It doesn't just end after graduation. Step number 6. Now, this could come before step number 5. It just depends, but applying for your LVN license, okay? So you're gonna have to apply for your LVN license with your state board of nursing. You're going to have to go through a background check. You have to do fingerprints. You're gonna have to pay some additional fees in order for you to get that license. Now, if I remember correctly, we did this in one of my last classes before graduation. We had a voucher and our professor was able to set us up with applying for our license, send through all the required information. You had to input like your physical address, your social security number, all those good stuff for it to get pushed through. And then you have to wait for the State Board of Nursing to go ahead and actually clear you. So I would say that this is probably before step 5. Because before taking the NCLEX, you want to make sure you apply, you know, for your nursing license, and they say like, hey, you'll be able to go ahead and get your nursing license. So either way, because I'm not sure if all schools do it that way, but you pass your NCLEX, you're going to go ahead and get your license. Keep in mind that you do have to pay for some of those things. When you're looking into your program, you want to ask if they offer a voucher. Some schools do offer a voucher for like your first test. Some schools go ahead and pay for the fees and the additional stuff that you have to pay for in order to get your license, and some schools do not. So that is something important to find out from the jump, because you don't want to wait until the end and then they hit you with like a $300-400 bill telling you like, hey, you had to be the one to pay for these things out of pocket. So applying for your nursing license and actually paying the fees, clearing your background check, passing that, of course, your fingerprints, all those good stuff. Those things have to be in good standings for you to get your license. And the last step I have on this list is, of course, getting a job, right? And so you finish nursing school, you pass your NCLEX, you get the license, you know, you look up your name and, you know, whatever state board of nursing, and it says such and such is a licensed vocational nurse, licensed practical nurse, and what's next? It's time to look for a job. So you want to make sure that you have your resume prepped and ready. You want to make sure you have the correct skills on there and the correct wording so that you look and stand out as a great candidate for the jobs that you are applying to. I know for me, again, in my last nursing class, we were able to put together our resumes. Our professor looked over our resumes, helped us tweak our resumes for a nursing role, and those were the resumes that we were encouraged to use when looking for our first nursing job. So you want to make sure you have your resume ready for you to start looking for work. Also keep in mind, interviews, first impression is everything. You want to go out there, be honest, let them know that, hey, this is my first interview or my first nursing job. I am fresh out of nursing school. I am ready to learn. I am ready to get hands-on. I am ready to go ahead and succeed in this role. So after you have already completed nursing school, pass your NCLEX, have your license, it's time to apply for work and officially get out there and work as a licensed vocational nurse, okay? And this brings us to the end of my video on how to become an LVN, my step-by-step guide. I hope that you truly enjoyed this video, and if you are considering or were considering or thinking about becoming an LVN, I do hope that my video was able to shine a little bit more light on the process and what it takes to be an LVN. Don't give up. Stay true to yourself. Have faith, and if you really want to do it, you can. If you have any questions for me, don't forget to leave down below. I will try my best. I will try my best to answer all your questions. Don't forget to share, comment, subscribe, and of course, you guys like my video for more content, and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye!